Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/infidelity, where OP is so lucky that his soon-to-be ex-wife is not really the sharpest tool on the shed. Let's begin. Today's story was posted by Reddit user TDubBoys.
Hi, first time posting here after seeing many posts and thought maybe this is where I, 31, would share my story. Been with my soon-to-be ex-wife, 28, for 7 years, married for 5. Due to our job specialties, we never planned to have kids, but we did have lots of great plans for the future, and we never disagreed on any future blueprints or direction we wanted to go during the 7 years of our relationship. She started her new job this February, and she met this coworker, 38, from the job. She came back home after 2 weeks of doctor training, and I found out she started chatting a lot with this guy.
By the end of this, you are going to be crying like a little bitch.
I was never a jealous person, and I know that she has always been surrounded by guys due to our job situation. As the majority of workers in our industry are male, I never questioned her loyalty or boundaries because I trusted her. But I realized she started texting with this person a lot, and I brought it up twice in March. She kept reassuring me that he's the guy I don't have to worry about, that he's just her friend who happens to be a guy, and they have lots of common topics to chat about. They're both Christian, so they talked a lot about the Bible. I'm not religious. She said she has no problem stopping talking to this guy if I don't feel comfortable. But I knew they were going to training again at the end of March, so I knew it was impossible, and I didn't stop her.
Forgive him, he's a very passive boy.
Beta male, got it.
I asked her if she's happy in this marriage, or even before this event, I would constantly check on her to see if there's anything I could improve, or just see if she's doing okay in this marriage. I never got any kind of negative feedback. Even up to mid-March, she was still saying I'm the best thing that happened in her life. Fast forward to the end of March, she was leaving to somewhere else for her job training for her new job again for a month. In the first couple days she was in training, everything was fine, and the interactions between us were normal. After the first week, we started fighting a lot. Part of me has to admit it was my fault because I was going through some things in my life, and I was being pretty emotional. But I also started feeling like she was becoming distant and having some strange ideas about our future that didn't even sound like things she would say, which made me start feeling weird. We barely argue over anything. I can't even remember when our last really big fight was before April. I felt bad for arguing with her over things during her training because I know how important it was for her, but mainly we were fighting over the fact that she didn't really keep boundaries between her and the guy, and I knew for a fact that he was pursuing her. Finally, she brought up that she needs some space and time to think about our relationship and future, and she told me she still loves me, but it's not the same anymore. I was in a lot of confusion, but I respected her and gave her some time because at that moment, I didn't really know what was going on. Shortly after, a couple of days later, she brought up divorce over FaceTime. My world collapsed, and at that moment, I still had no idea what was going on, but I had a gut feeling she might be leaving with that person. Finally, she comes back home in mid-May, and I went to the airport to pick her up. When I saw her, I immediately knew that she's not the person I knew. She wouldn't even give me a hug at the airport after a month and a half of not seeing each other. She came home and didn't even unpack her luggage. The first night she came home, she looked into my eyes and straight up told me that she wants out, she wants a divorce, and she doesn't love me anymore. That first night was hard, and I was hurt so much, but I was holding on to hope.
The fact that you have any hope left in your life is your most admirable quality.
Maybe I disappointed her during my emotional waves and our arguments, so I was trying to sort things out. The next day, she suddenly became a different person. She claimed that she wants to clean the house for me, and let's create a nice memory for the last couple of days before she leaves. I knew it sounded weird, and I felt like she was lying about lots of stuff and holding back from me, so I went through her phone for the first time in 7 years. I found out before she came back that she was already in a relationship, had signed the lease with the guy to move in together, and at this point, it was only a month and a half since she left home at the end of March. She even told the guy that she's willing to give up everything for him to start all over again. I still feel really bad to this day about going through her phone because I had never done such a thing in our relationship, and I felt that I crossed the line. But at that moment, I decided to take screenshots of their conversations and pretended nothing had happened, just to see how far she would go with all these lies she told me. For the next few days, I kept asking her questions related to her and this person, and of course, I never got any truthful answers. So that night, while we were talking, I finally got irritated enough that I started questioning her and got mad. She began blaming me for my issues and saying that's why we can never be together. She lied until the very last moment, even when we were having heated arguments. She then decided to leave that night, and as soon as she left, I sent her all the screenshots I had and told her I already knew everything. I was really just trying to see how far she would take this. She claimed they only started their relationship after she brought up divorce, so it's not cheating. She also told me she had wanted out for the longest time, just waiting for the right moment because I'm controlling and abusive. Seeing her leave and knowing that might be the last time I see this person in my life was one of the hardest things I've ever had to witness. Until the very last moment, I was almost just asking her to be honest with me and give this marriage some respect. She was the greatest wife for 7 years, so I don't understand how she could have changed in such a short period of time. That still leaves me with a lot of confusion and questions. I know all the past and the love she had for me were real, but how could that just disappear like that? Shortly after she moved out, I hired a lawyer and filed for divorce. She said she doesn't want the bags I bought her, the house, cars, or any spousal support or money. She just wants out. I didn't really want to make this decision, but at the same time, I can't afford for her to change her mind. So I did that right away, and I already got the paperwork signed back to me. It has been 2 months since the day she told me she wants a divorce, and I'm doing a lot better now. I'm trying to focus on myself, build a new life, and become a better person. I know I'm not perfect, and we didn't have a perfect relationship, but to run away from a marriage, enter a new relationship, and now be living together with this person in a span of less than 2 months, I think the thing that hurt me the most was all the memories we had, all the things we built together and the plans we made for the future. Maybe I'll never understand why everything could just change in such a short period of time because she met someone and everything we had went down the drain. Now for OP's first update. Hey everyone, I was joking about her getting married again soon. I never thought I would be able to give you some minor or dramatic updates right away. I knew she was ring shopping and looking for places to get married when I saw her browsing history while going through her phone, but at that moment, I didn't really think much of it. That's why I didn't even mention it. Today, she reached out to me and asked if the divorce case has been filed and settled and when she will get the divorce certificate. I didn't respond to her text as I don't think I'm obligated to respond to this kind of question, but I found it laughable. When she first brought up divorce, she said she had done lots of research already. So how could she not know that where we live requires a 6-month cooling off period from the date the last person has served the paperwork, which was June 10th, I believe. And she's already rushing, asking about when she'll get the divorce certificate. Does she want to get married again that desperately? I honestly think this entire timeline is just so bizarre and messed up that it has to be true because no one would be able to make this up. I believe she's also met the guy's family already. I wonder what kind of magic this person has. We literally go from everything seeming great to her leaving and wanting a divorce to them moving in together to her wanting to get married in 3 to 4 months. She talked about how she's willing to give up everything she had to pursue a life with him in the text. Something is not right in her head or their heads. She had a fling. Okay, that sucks, but whatever. If she wanted to leave me, horrible, but okay. She monkey branched. It hurts, but fine. To jump from one marriage to another right away, even just having that thought is madness and next level instability. And the guy must have said or promised something for her to have this thought or plan. But why would a guy do that? Just limerence or affair fog would make people go this crazy and irrational? At this pace, I believe the day after our official marriage termination date will be the day they get married. Now for OP's final update. Okay, I know it's not exactly 6 months from when I posted, but it has been almost 6 months since the day I thought my world collapsed. Our official marriage termination date is coming up, so I thought I would share some experiences on this journey of recovery. I've really been focusing on myself and thriving in my life. Ever since this happened, I have been traveling around the world. Hawaii, Amsterdam, Vietnam, Taiwan, Australia, Norway, Germany, and I still have another trip planned to Korea and maybe one more place that I haven't decided on yet. My job has been awesome, and I think it's already well established that I don't have to worry about where I go or what I'm going to do with my career. I have been hitting the gym 5 times a week, eating well, and trying out lots of new recipes to expand my cooking skills. I also reconnected with lots of old friends, and made some new ones. I've been looking for myself and trying to build a whole new life without letting my old life and memories trap me in the past. Do I miss her from time to time? It would be a lie to say I don't. Do I still think about what happened or the things and dreams we shared? Yes, I still do. I remember when I was in a place we always wanted to visit together, I took a picture and out of nowhere thought of her. I didn't feel sad. It was just a strange moment that reminded me of her. The first 2 months after she told me she wanted a divorce and came home were hell, especially after finding out she was already in a relationship with this person. But on my birthday in June, I told myself it was the first day of my new life, and I promised myself that 1 year from that day, I would look back and be proud. It has gotten a lot better, and I think about everything less frequently. Even when I do, it's not as painful as it once was. It took me a while to forgive myself, and I even realized that I have forgiven her, and even her new partner as well. I don't feel hate or anger toward them anymore. I actually wish them the best and hope their relationship goes well if this is what they both want to pursue in life. I did feel a lot of hate initially and wished bad things on them or wanted their relationship to blow up, but I realized how unhealthy that was and how it only held me back from becoming a better person. At the end of the day, I don't want that happening to anyone. I'm not perfect, and there were things I could have done better in that relationship. I've learned from that lesson and moved on, and I also realized that true acceptance means nothing about her bothers me, and I feel somewhat normal now. I still don't know what the future holds or what my new life goal will be yet, but I know I'm already blessed in that I still have my house, cars, and all my savings and investments untouched, so I can easily plan for a lot of things I want to do. I've gone out with a couple of girls, but as of now, I think staying single for a while is healthier for me until I meet the right person. And I'm sure I'll know when that happens. Someone once told me that what seems like the worst thing to ever happen to you in life might actually lead to something better. A blessing in disguise, if you will. Reflecting on everything that has happened since she left, I wasn't in a great place emotionally at first, but looking back, everything that has happened has actually been positive and has brought my life in a better direction. I hope this brings all of you some positivity as we all need it to move on.
I would agree with you, OP. You are lucky. Very fortunate, actually. She is so deep in the affair fog and honeymoon phase that she gave up her share and you got away financially unscathed. Some men will be dirt poor for years after a divorce. Some might never even recover. You are lucky. That is true. Also, I hope you learn a valuable lesson here. As a man, you must never let your emotions win over critical thinking. That is a very woman thing to do. Look, man, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be depressed. But keep it in until the time is right for you to grieve. Never let it out in critical moments in your life. Go get some therapy. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.